What is going on, everybody? I am serious. What is going on out there? Brent Abel here at goldballhunting.com. That dude over there. Yes, the great Jeff Jacklich. Guys, kind of a big day here for us. Episode number 365 of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. And wow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tongue-tied in terms of just considering the fact that we've been doing this every day for the last year, Jeff. So, guys, we've got kind of a special episode that we want to share with you today. So hang in there with us for this episode because, it's going to be a good one. So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played in the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Brent Abel, and along with my biz partner, Jeff Jacklich, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting. Mr. Jacklich, what is going on there, son?
Another beautiful day in Palm Desert.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry for the 70-plus degree weather today with no wind out in the grass courts. Oh, darn it.
And just to be, it's not that I, didn't shave for 365, but this is actually 365 days of growth right here. Okay.
Right. So maybe 365 minutes of growth. Yeah. Look, Jeff, we got a special day here, and we were chatting a little bit about before we hit the record button what exactly we wanted to talk about today. And I think I can kind of, for me, it's like when we started this thing a year ago. I think for the first 2 or 3 dozen episodes of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast, we were not very clear on what our message was going to be. I don't think we were very clear as to who we wanted to send that message to, and I think and then we spent a few months kind of figuring it out. And I think the more we sort of figured it out, the more we whittled it down to, well, who's the one player out there that we really want to connect with? Who's that one player? And it's very clear in our minds now who that player is. And that completely changed our messaging.
Right.
I would say for the last 7-8 months of doing this. So I guess the parallel that I want to make is that transformation that you and I've gone through over the last year in terms of coaching has become, right now I have so much clarity on exactly who I want to help, the message I want to send them, and how I want them to become a better player, meaning how I want them to win a lot more matches, especially their close matches. And I think that the players go through this same exact kind of thing where in the beginning, when they decide, all right, I want to become a better player, there's this period in the beginning of going, I just don't know. I don't know who I am on the court. I don't know. And so there's all this confusion. And then I guess through messaging or through instruction, the good instruction is that players start to figure out, well, wait a minute, I can't do the whole thing. I can't be every type of player on the court 100% of the time. So what am I going to pick and choose? What am I going to really go after in terms of, and it's more the reality check. What's the most common phrase that we've used the last 365 days? Probably reality check.
Right.
Here's another reality check.
Real life, boots on the ground experience. What's the reality of you being on the court, whether it's me, whether it's you, Brenny, whether it's a 3-5 just entering into tournaments and all this stuff? What's the reality of what actually happened out there? And that's the lens that our messaging is about. Step back from what just happened. Step away from the chatter of your friends around you And can you really go back and kind of, look through this lens, look at yourself, and get away from theory, and go, what actually happened out there?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look,
And
it's all about clarity. I mean, that's kind of where I wanted to go with this whole thing, is that the
yeah,
mission you and I
right,
went through was from confusion to kind of getting clear to complete and utter clarity about what we're trying to do. And players, if they're going to become a better tennis player, they've eventually got to get to that point where they get clarity of who they are, what their natural skill sets are. I mean, there's some skill sets that you cannot give to somebody, and someone just, I mean, if you want to buy into the hype that's just flying around out there, fine and dandy, but it's going to be a waste of your time, waste of your money, and you're going to load up on the frustration meter like crazy, because it's not the right thing for you. So
right.
once you figure out, well, here's who I am on the court, then all of a sudden the clarity bells just start going bing, bing, bing. The light bulbs start going off about how to take that clarity and use it to win more, whether it's singles uh, or doubles matches. So wow, I mean, I just think that, and just like you said, there've been so many great comments on our YouTube channel, and
Yeah.
along with email about, I think what you said the most common thing was, man, I'm now having more fun playing tennis. And isn't that really what we want to help players do? I mean,
Yeah. Shouldn't that
obviously
time
winning's part of it, but we don't want to make you a jerk out there and win more.
No, shouldn't that time be spent on the court, that you come off the court and go, that was enjoyable.
That's right.
That was a great experience.
Right.
That was, I felt like I performed. I, even if I didn't perform great, I still, I worked at things. I've learned something. I can go back to the practice court now. I see some holes in my game, or I see something that I could probably make that a little better. And again, we're not talking about, hyper stroke technique. I'm talking about, what I maybe should have positioned myself a little better. When I see this pattern happening, I always do this, and maybe I see the answer maybe I should do this other thing instead. Not shot selection, but maybe I should just stand someplace else on the court rather than where I think I'm, what theory says I'm supposed to stand. So those are the things that make it more enjoyable, that make the journey, this tennis journey, makes it, on the one hand, tolerable. It's an unbelievable journey. I mean, I'm still learning, you're still learning, and we've been in it for a long time. And it's still fun to learn. I love getting out there and seeing the reality of man, I've made some adjustments, and I'm always looking like, how do I take my skill set and make it a little bit more effective without, changing the way I hit the ball, without, I need to add a new stroke, I need to add this new thing, but really like paring it down and go, you know what? I don't think I need to get out of here that fast. I think I can just slide this ball back over there and let them do something with it.
Yeah.
And all it means is the point went one more hit. Doesn't mean the point goes 8 more hits.
Right.
I mean, literally yesterday, I kind of paid attention to it in our finals, in the mixed finals, and good players. We had a solid win. We played really well, but I made a point of just like really not caring if they hit the ball, but hitting just good solid stuff. So there was some balls that were down there that I might have been tempted to go for the little cute little angle and stuff. I just went, just cut it back deep on the low volley, and literally the next ball would just get handed up, and either myself or Erica would be able just to knock it into the open court. We're done.
Yeah.
So I really made kind of like hard mental notes about doing the kind of the journeyman thing, and just noticing like, how many more hits does this point go? Well, 1, maybe 2. It's not like, and so I think that's a reality check for a lot of players. It's like understanding when you start to make these adjustments, we're not talking about, because I let the other person hit the ball, that, the point's going to go an extra, 10 hits. That's not what's going to happen.
Yeah. No, it's really more that if you don't look for the exit, if you stay in the point, the chances now start to ratchet up very quickly that opponent, if they don't miss, that they're going to cough up something to you that becomes a
Right.
really big, fat, chubby opportunity that maybe you can really kind of go after it and do something. But, you're right. And I can't, I know for me, Jeff, over the last few years. I've put more of those little ball boxes up in the shelf in the last 3 years than I have over the last, I don't know, 35 years. And I don't have the data, but my sense is that I'm winning more points, more sets, more matches.
Right.
Not because I'm hitting more winners. It's because I'm actually keeping the ball in play a little bit longer, letting them touch it. And if they don't make an unforced error, the chances as the point goes on starts to go up that,
Right.
I'm going to get a ball that I can really take advantage of. And so, well, cool. Listen, anything else you want to throw in there before we sign off?
Well, I just think it's great, especially like we talked about earlier in the comments, that the players now are really like they're getting clarity about seeing the reality of like, if I have a plan, it's okay if the other guy touches the ball or gal touches the ball, and just settling into this idea that I don't need every possible incarnation of forehand. I don't need every possible incarnation of volley. And just the exponential layers of complexity that we can add to this game. And really, what you and I are about is like, we want to reduce the complexity and get it down to it's like, what's your best skills? How do we use those skills? Now let's show you how to use that skill in a few different ways. So now we're going to exponentially expand your skill set or your toolbox, but without adding a new stroke. We're just going to show you how to use the one you have, maybe in some ways you hadn't thought of, or maybe in constructing the point in a more effective way that lets you stay comfortable in the tool set and the skill set that you have. And I think that's really our message about what we're trying to get out.
What comes to mind is working with one of our gold ballers or watching him play, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. And I just mentioned, I said, man, you're hitting the ball clean as a whistle, but I think you ought to try keeping the guy out of the corners. And I think you ought to start throwing in some drop shots because, and here's a guy not quite in the mid 60s or maybe mid 60s, hits the ball clean really well. But at this age, it's really tough to compete by trying to ding it to a corner, ding it to the other corner. I said, why don't you throw in some droppers now and then? He goes, well, I really haven't worked on that shot. And I just said, well, wait a minute. You have the shot. Everyone's got a drop shot. He says, well, don't I have to have a little more? I said, no. All you have to do is try it like 300 times. Just try it, and you'll figure it out. You've already, you can hit the topper back, you can hit the slice back in. Don't think about how to. Just start working it and go, oh, that one was too short. Oh, that one was a little bit too deep. Oh, okay, well, and you'll eventually get it. And so it's just like, Jeff, what you're saying. It's not about adding more technique to your game. It's just starting to think more strategically about, well, how can I move this guy in the court a little bit differently than what I've been doing, showing him something different. And the drop shot is like an ultimate weapon that you have to. The only way you're going to learn it is to get the feel by just doing it. Just do it and do it and lose some points, and it's okay.
Right.
We're not going to. It's okay. Jeff, a couple things. Number one is you're coming over here this afternoon, and I'm assuming tonight we'll sit down and have a little powwow about what do we want to do for the next 365 days.
Right.
If we're going to go to episode number 366, or if we're going to have a little different flavor to it, maybe focus on something different. And then in the meantime, guys, we're getting down to it here on Thursday. This is only a few days away. We've got a couple spots left in our workshop on Thursday, January 16th, down here in the desert, actually at Shadow Mountain Resort and Tennis Club, which is here in Palm Desert. So, guys, look, if you want to get into this workshop, you got to get signed up now, right down below. There's 2 videos, the information video and then the application video. Make sure you watch the information video first before you fill out the application, and let's get you signed up. I guess that's it, man. Listen, guys, really, I mean, for me, it's been an incredible year. It really has been an amazing year. I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking of all the fun. First of all, it's been fun as hell. I mean,
Yeah.
and not that we actually get together every single morning, because some of the days we've been way more organized. We've done, well, let's do 3 or 4 episodes today.
Right.
And we schedule those out. But I would say the last 3 months, we've just been, hey, man.
By the seat of our pants, baby.
Come on, let's go. So
by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been, I mean, for me, it's been great. I mean, the learning curve for me has been great. And again, the journey has just been so fun. And really, I think one of the most fun things in this is that, this season down here in Palm Desert and being down here, 6 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago at the Crable grass courts and having guys come up and say, hey, Jeff, and like, who are you? I'm Bob, and then introducing them. So I've been listening to you every day, and it's really kind of this weird kind of thing, but it's just, it's like the greatest thing that we're doing this thing and players are listening and they're learning and appreciating our experience of playing the game and the reality of what we've gone through, and it's resonating with players and them kind of, again, everybody talks about how to hack the system. Well, you're going to hack the system a little bit faster if you actually listen to players that play the game and are actually involved in playing in your age bracket and can give you wisdom from the trenches. Theory's great, but I mean, so for me, this has been the big part of it that's just been fun. Here at the Plaza tournament, I don't know how many guys just came up and, Jeff, my name's Dave. Maybe you've seen some of my comments, it's like, oh, Dave, okay,
great. You're that guy. Okay, yeah.
You're that guy. Yeah, oh, great. So for me, that's just been a really enjoyable part of it too. Just the meeting some of the gold ballers has just been I mean, for me, it puts a big smile on my face. It's the greatest thing
That's
ever.
Great. Well, listen, guys, I want to thank everyone, guys and gals, for all your continued ongoing support and questions, feedback, all this stuff. I mean, it really helps us kind of dig in deeper about how we can best serve you, how we can best help you. So with that said, Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Continue to like us. Continue to share.
Oh.
Continue to subscribe.
Okay.
Leave a comment below. And iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review. Goldballhunting.com.
Well, with that said, guys, continue to get out there. Help someone have a spectacular day. Jeff, we'll figure out tonight if we're going to continue to do this again tomorrow.
All right.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.